Hello and welcome to A Live to Work, everybody. This is Tina.
And I'm Kate. Hola. That was me doing my foreign language. Hola.
Very good, very good. For those who do listen from other places, which we do have listeners from outside of the United Kingdom, so that's absolutely fabulous. Now, today we're talking about something called a procrastination, which is a very posh way of saying putting things off. And what is our mode of transport today, Kate?
Well, with procrastination, it's kind of a go slow, kind of can't. Am I allowed to say can't be bothered?
I think
I'm
I
trying.
think I think in our household we do say CBA and as a code for can't be asked. So I think it's okay.
So we were, thank you. So we're traveling via push bike.
Mm.
But we've got our helmets on.
We're very safe. And of course it will be like imagine a tandem but with a hell of a lot more seats because all the listeners have got to jump on board. So it's going to be easy because we're going to be doing it with collective effort.
So Tina, tell me all about procrastination.
I think a hell of a lot of people have this issue. It's that time when you just cannot get started. It's either because you cannot get started on a particular thing you need to get started on, or it can be when there are so many things to get to be done, you don't know where to start. So procrastination is really putting things off, finding yourself all of a sudden you should be doing something and instead you're tidying out the cupboard because you went in there to get a bit of wrapping paper, but now you've tidied out the whole thing and actually you haven't wrapped, or dealt with the Christmas things you were doing or whatever it was. So, I mean, to me, I often think about it in that way. Do you think about it in the same way, Kate?
Yeah, yes, I do. I'll do it later. I'll do it in a bit.
Yeah.
Putting it just essentially just putting it off for things like making phone calls.
Yeah, my grandma had a thing in her house and it was called a tuit, Tuit, and it was a round plate and it had a poem on it saying, I'll get around to it. Because someone had bought it for my granddad, of whom that was his usual phrase. Granddad, the gate is falling off its hinges. I'll get round to it. Granddad, the, this is squeaking. I'll get round to it. I mean, honestly, if he'd have got a bit of WD-40 and squirted it, it'd have taken him 30 seconds. But it's that kind of accumulation of stuff that we're not getting round to, isn't it?
Yeah, but are you aware that you do it? Do
Mm.
you know that you do it? Um, I am. I go in fits and starts actually. Sometimes if I say, I've worked this out, if I say, oh yeah, I'll do it. It's not really gonna get.
So that
Is it
that
my
really
list of
means
priorities?
I'm not
No.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
But this can come in many guises, can't
Mm.
it? I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, my friend is at university doing assignments. And I said to her right at the beginning, sort out a plan. Don't wait. Crack on and message me. I can help you. It's literally my job to, to coach people through these, to reach end goals. Do you know when she messaged me? Do you know when? Do you know when?
I'm gonna make a stab at the day before.
The day before,
Yeah.
Tina. And I just,
Yeah. So what can happen is we make life so much more difficult for ourselves when we procrastinate because we bring deadlines closer and closer and closer, and then we can create in ourselves a sense of rising panic, and then everything feels a lot less possible.
yeah.
So it is a lot better to be able to
Mm,
have some techniques which take you out of this place of what's called procrastinating.
Yeah. Because but procrastinating in itself, it's a big, I mean, it's a big word, isn't it? But you know as well as I do, it can lead to, you were talking about the deadlines, it can lead to overwhelm,
Yeah,
increased stress,
yeah,
all of these unwanted physiological changes happen as well. You
yeah.
know, you can get chest pain, headaches, feel unwell, high blood pressure, nosebleeds, all of that just because
You feel
we,
het up about how much is on your list to do.
yeah.
So my first go-to, I say to people, is have it's not the most polite phrase, but do a bit of a brain dump. So basically, get a piece of paper and write down everything that you think you have to do, and just zoop it out. Don't start editing it 5 seconds in. Just do the whole thing. Boom, everything, and then go through that with a highlighter pen and and maybe get rid of some of the stuff that you do not feel is essential. Maybe you're doing it for somebody else, or you just think you should do it, you know,
Mm.
but do you really need and have to do it? So that's one thought. The
Yeah.
other is going through your list again and saying, right, I have a spare half an hour now. Can I do at least one of these jobs in that half an hour? Like I need to add some receipts to my Excel spreadsheet for my taxes. Yes, I could probably do that within half an hour. So I'll just do it. Bing, big tick next to that, done a job. So it's really helpful to give yourself time zones as well. I think I've got half an hour. What of this could I do in half an hour? I've got an hour. What could I do in an hour?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
can be really helpful. And the
It's
more
all,
you do things, the more you feel a great sense of achievement. And that feels positive.
it's also worth considering why why are we procrastinating? But I can't even say it now, Tina.
Putting
Oh,
things off, let's say that it's
but
easier.
why are we, is it stuff that we don't want to do? Is it stuff that we think we don't know how to do, a la Tiny Title and her maths homework, who can actually do her maths homework, but she keeps putting it off and putting it off and putting it off because she thinks she can't do it.
Yeah.
Either that or she's lazy.
But
Or
sometimes it is
10.
fear. It is fear, isn't it, that stops us doing things. I've learned a lot about podcasts and getting things uplifted in the time we spent together. And at first I used to put it off a little bit because you think, I don't know if I really know how to do this, and what if I don't do it properly? Well, I started to look up YouTube's how to do it, and I've done it, and I do it, and now it's a lot quicker. But I know the reason I was putting it off initially was because I was anxious slash fearful of the fact that I might not be able to do it.
Yeah, but you
So
asked the question, why?
yeah,
Why am I not doing this? And that is a great place to
yeah,
start.
yeah. And also, what value are you giving to it? Look at that list and think, right, this task, this thing, does it add value to me, to my family, to my job, to what's important to me, or is it just something I feel obliged to do? If it's something
Mm,
you feel obliged to do, it can maybe come off your list.
yes.
Yeah, I had a friend and she used to every year go and put leaflets through people's door about a church service. And she didn't have a lot of time. Of all the people who probably went to that particular church, there were many, many others who had a lot more time in their lives because some of them, well, that's a perception, I suppose, but, it was likely to be the case because she was an incredibly busy person with a big family and a job, etc. And she said, I'll fit this in. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. And what she concluded in the end was she'd either do it with family and make it a bit of a fun thing, and they'd all walk around together and they'd do it as a family walk, or she had to stop doing it because it was she felt obliged.
Mm,
And she was going away to have a think about which of those options was the better one for her.
yeah.
And that sounded fair. So yeah,
Mm.
so there's that kind of the value, the importance of those activities, and why you
And
put them.
it might be as well that you know you've got this thing to do, but you're not really sure how to do it,
Mm,
or any of that whole goal setting thing. So
mm.
set yourself a goal with it. Let's take you back to the assignment. Okay, so I am going to do boom, 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 boom. By the end of boom, 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 I will boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And then you've got an idea of what you're working to.
And the best way that that works is tell somebody else that you're going to do that. So, I say, right, Kate, by the next time we chat, I'm going to have uploaded all these podcasts. Means
Yeah.
I will make time to do it, means I'm actually obligated, that word again, but in a good way, in a positive way. I've kind
Yeah.
of shared it with a colleague and they're going to check in on my progress. So
Mm.
that's much more likely to make me crack on with that.
Yeah, accountability, isn't it? That
Yeah,
accountability
it
will
is.
do.
Yeah. And also reward. So when you have done a load of stuff, the brain, the unconscious brain, has this habit of once something is done, it ticks it and it swipes it out of the way. So all that remains is all the list of things you haven't done. So actually, it's just doing a bit of a capture and going, actually, looking at my to-do list, I've done 8 things today, like 5 little things, 3 big things. Yippee do. Good on you. Well done, Tina. You deserve a reward, whatever form that takes. But yeah, pat yourself on the back when you do stuff because you don't want to exist in a place where you're only thinking about what you aren't doing.
Yeah. And technique wise, so we've already talked about reframing. So reframing the situation and asking the questions, setting goals. And another thing that you can do is called anchoring.
Mm,
So anchoring is where you take yourself from one state to another. So let's just say putting things off to motivation.
mm,
You can take yourself through a series of steps to reach a motivated state.
mm. And if you come to a coaching session, they really can help you with that because sometimes a third party helping you with that is super helpful. Um, but yeah, thinking about, moving towards feeling motivated is really powerful.
So you're at the bottom of your hill on your push bike, and you know that you've got to get to the top.
Mm.
How are you going to do it? How are we going to get there?
I think it's a couple of things, isn't it? It's starting to pedal because if you don't even start, you're going to be still sat at the bottom of the hill a week later. So starting. Having a goal, thinking when we get halfway up the hill, we'll stop and have a hot chocolate, and then we'll go again. So you might intersperse your progress with reward. Um,
Yeah.
you may also want to imagine yourself at the top of the hill, giving your tandem colleagues on the back a high five, all whooping and celebrating and telling each other how incredible you are, and looking at the vista that is ahead because you have just gone up the hill. So a little bit of imagination. So all of those things can be really helpful. Would you add anything, Kate?
Yeah, only you can't enjoy the downward rush unless you've made the effort to get there.
Well, I think we just need to arrive because that was perfect. How motivational was that? I love it. I love it. So we have arrived at our destination, Kate.
Yes, we are here. Thank you very much for pedaling with us in this episode.
Yes, because that collective effort has made it a lot easier.
Yep. Have an amazing day. Enjoy.
And we'll tune in the next one and we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye.